Ladies and gentlemen, after long wait, we've made it. We're here. It's week one. Let's not waste 1 second. We're talking all things Titan Bears right now. Sammy, start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Levis towards the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown. Wow. And it's the fourth TD pass of the day in the debut of Will Levis.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. Sick! It's going to be sick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. I'm joined, as always, by my two counterparts, Jarett and Vin. The three amigos are in house, which is obviously a beautiful thing. It's week one. There was no way we weren't going to have our full crew here, boys.
Game week.
It's game week, man. How we feeling, fellas? How we feeling? The butterflies fluttering yet, or what?
A little bit. You want to see the start of the season. You got the NFL on tonight, right now. I mean, we're recording with the Ravens and the Chiefs, so I'm getting excited for Sunday. I got my gear on. I got my back-to-back championships. Hopefully, we go win the AFC South.
Yeah, it hasn't really hit me yet. It feels like just yesterday we beat Jacksonville, week 18, and to me, it feels like that. At least time.
That great win, that huge win.
I guess the older you get, the faster time goes. But it's back, and I think we have a lot to be excited for. But a few days away. With that being said, we have to watch Derek. That's why everyone knows we're doing it now, so we don't have to see Derek Henry and that disgusting purple bullshit.
Yeah. I got him in one of my fantasy leagues,
I'm
though.
totally
Unfortunately,
I'm totally over it.
I'm over it too. I don't give a
fuck. Oh yeah, of course.
Still over it.
I really don't care, honestly. I really don't care. He's going to get his touches. They're going to go nuts when he gets a touchdown from the 2-yard line. Good for them. Congratulations. Yeah. You'll get to do that a lot. Hopefully he has a bunch of touchdowns and then gets bounced in the first round. So that's amore for Derrick Henry. But let's rock and roll, guys. We got our first game of the year. We saw a lot coming into this week. A lot of Will Levis, a lot of Callahan. Just everyone's on the mic. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like we've had a lot more press conferences from the staff than I remember starting off the year. But actually, you know what? Let's do this. Actually, before we dive into what we've been seeing this week out of our staff, let's make sure we shout out our excellent sponsors. Okay, that's very, very important. Let's do that early on in the show. We'll start out with Mantis Sleep. Obviously, guys, if you're looking for anything that's going to help you get the best sleep possible, you're going to want to check out Mantis Sleep. And if you do, we have a discount code that'll get you 10% off on your order, and that would be Sick Titans, one word, SickTitans. And you can use that code to get whatever discount you'd like, or the 10%, I should say, on your first order. So, and our second, Jarett, if you want to take over.
Yeah, I mean, is anybody wearing a Homage shirt tonight? But our second sponsor is Homage. Right now, Homage specializes in ultra comfort, high quality looks, repping sports, pop culture, and more legendary moments, WWE, movies, anything you guys want. Learn more about Homage with a link in the description on all of our platforms, whether it be Instagram or X. Check them out. They got comfortable gear. We're repping them all year round. So, and we'll be probably giving out gift cards next week when we're down in Nashville for our a little live podcast at the DraftKings Sports Bar and Social. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So like I was saying before, let's jump in. Vin, I'll start with you. I mean, we've been seeing some real good vibes about Levis. He's been saying all the right things. We've been hearing a lot about our confidence level. Of course, these are things we hear every single year, regardless, from every single team. But is there anything different that you think you're hearing now from these guys that leads you to believe that maybe this is the year the Titans turn the corner and start playing football like the rest of the league in the 21st century?
Well, what makes me think that this is going to be different than previous years and that this quarterback is going to be different than previous Titans quarterback is we are looking at an entirely new style of Tennessee Titans football. For the longest time, our game was predicated on the run and playing defense. We never really needed a game-changing quarterback because of the style of football that we played. With that being said, Callahan's in there. He's going to implement his offense. It's going to be an aggressive, pass-heavy offense, similar to what we saw out of him when he was in Cincinnati. He talked about when he was on the Bussin' podcast that he took this job mainly because he really believes in Will Levis. So his confidence has to give us all the confidence in the world. What we saw from Levis last year has to give us confidence. I personally really do think that he is going to be our guy for the next decade or so. I just hope and pray he could smarten up a little bit when it comes to protecting himself. With that being said, his style is his style. That's what makes him unique. We're going to have to be on the edge of our seat a lot of times when he decides to take off. But with that being said, if he stays healthy, knock on wood, I think he will be our quarterback for the next decade. And this year, at first we weren't really getting any recognition. Then as it seemed like the preseason went on, we started hearing a lot of, national pundits say, well, those Titans could be a sleeper team. What's her name on NFL Network? I'm sorry, I forget her name.
Jamie.
Yeah, she shouted out our Titans. She thinks we could be, competitive. Rich Eisen also believes we can, be competitive this year. I know we all believe it. We also believe it every year. But this year, what makes it different for me is that it's a new era of Titans football, and I think we have the quarterback to, sustain that style. So I feel great about it. I have all the confidence in the world in this kid. Like you said, he said all the right things. And we'll see it come to fruition on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just as hyped as I was a couple of years ago when we were, championship quality team. Now we have a quarterback at the helm who has so much swagger, has so much confidence in himself at the podium saying, he's tweeting and he's talking about saying, pressure is a privilege, just like he got that quote from Navasink, the kicker, who we just got rid of.
Not to cut you off, I said Green Bay was going to sign him. They signed.
Yep. So I mean, pressure is a privilege. So just hearing that from your quarterback and just ready for the moment, which is another one, he's ready for the moment too. And Brian Callahan has said it. And just the juice around the whole building. You're hearing all these guys talking throughout the whole week so far. I just really can't wait to see what Will Levis is going to do against Caleb Williams. So it's going to be a rookie versus a second. No, basically, not a rookie, but this is his first start through all 17 games. So, I mean, I can't wait to see what he does in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, here's the bottom line. I don't know if many people know this, but Caleb Williams went 10 for 20 in the preseason.
Yep.
He didn't really do anything to knock anyone's socks off. Now, am I going to be a dumbass and sit here and say that his talent level isn't on another dimension than a lot of other rookies that came into this league? No, I'm not going to be stupid. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense. As far as what we saw from him at USC, I mean, he was Patrick Mahomes at USC. I mean, that's just really what it was. Now, is that going to translate into the NFL? I don't know. The Bears seem to sure think it will, and it might. But he didn't have a great preseason. He's going to be going against
throws. He made some flash throws.
No, he made some good throws.
Yeah, there was splash plays for sure.
He made some good throws, but I mean, again, he went 10 for 20. He went 50%. I mean, I'm not. What's that?
Let's also not forget. I mean, it's a rookie coming into the league for one, and two, they have a new offense just like we do. So don't think like the national media hype is saying, "Oh my God, Caleb Williams is the best quarterback since Joe Montana coming out of the draft, or Andrew Luck or anything." He still has to go out there and perform and execute their game plan, which is a whole new brand new offense, just like us. But I feel like our confidence in our building, and our roster is built, better to win now versus the Bears. I mean, people can argue all they want, but also we do have the stat before we even talk about anything that number one picks are 0-14-1 in their first career starts. All right, we got that from CBS Sports too as well. So I mean, last winning quarterback who went first overall was David Carr. So I mean, there's a lot to go with it, because now you have Denard Wilson, who's a first-year DC, who has been in the league for a while, who has aggressive secondaries, who now wants to attack the quarterback with multiple fronts, with multiple coverages. So he's going to confuse the shit out of the rookie, in my opinion. So this is not going to be no cakewalk like the national media thinks, we're going to get swept there in Chicago on the South Side. It's not going to happen. And, don't be shocked, when we do our game predictions later, and it could be the lopsided other way, and it's turning out to be the two-tone blue winning this game. So I just want to throw that out there real quick for everybody.
I mean, he's going to be going against the best talent he's ever faced in his life.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody he faced in the preseason is going to compare to who he's facing on any team, let alone a defense of ours that we think is pretty stout. So I think the sky's the limit for this team. Is just I'm talking about game one. I mean, you bring up a good point. I think they should blitz this kid a lot. And the one thing I'll say that is giving me hope. I don't know how Caleb Williams is going to be for his whole career, but I'll tell you, when I saw that kid crying after that loss in front of 100,000 people, that didn't rub me the right way. It really didn't. And, he better not think for 1 second after this loss, if he loses on Sunday, that Chicago is going to be cool with him running over to his mom and crying. I think he knows that's not going to fly here in the Windy City. So we'll have to see. I personally, and I'm sure this will get clipped by whoever the fuck watches this in Chicago, I personally think he's not going to be as good as everyone and their mother thinks he will be, because I just don't think he has what it takes between the ears to be a guy that can be competing with the top of the class in this league. So we'll see. It's going to be a real good telltale. It's going to be really good litmus test on Sunday, because he's going to have Snead and all our guys in the backfield and hopefully of our big dudes up front trying to take him down. So I'll tell you what.
Play devil's advocate, though. They have done the best thing you could do for a rookie quarterback. And so,
yeah.
You know what
Everywhere
I mean?
you turn, there's talent on offense.
I tend to agree, Sal. I think his potential obviously is there. He has as much arm talent as anyone in the league and can extend plays with the best of everyone. I think that will translate. I'm going to have to see him win big games until I believe he's the next, the biggest, best thing since sliced bread. But they have nothing but weapons around him in the form of DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze and Cole Kmet and DeAndre, who's the running back? Swift. I believe. Swift.
Yeah.
And,
Deshaun Johnson's pretty good too.
Yeah, they've done nothing but right by him, and it's going to be crucial for his development. So just to play devil's advocate, we're not playing Caleb Williams. We're playing the Chicago Bears, and they've put together, a competitive team without Caleb Williams. And, I don't think we're going to walk over them in Chicago, but I think, it's going to be a more competitive game than people think. I think a lot of people believe Chicago is going to win this game. I think it's going to be much tougher if they do win than most people think. They're not going to walk all over us at all. And to your point, Jarett, I think they're going to get after him early and often. I think this defense is going to be night and day from last year. It's going to be extremely aggressive, and I think they're going to get in this kid's face early and often.
Yeah, let's not forget too that on the other side of the ball, the Bears defense, once they acquired Montez Sweat last year, I think they were ranked top 5 in the defense from like week 9 all the way to the last week of the season. So, they get after it with him. I don't know much about the Bears defense. They have, some players on there, but obviously, they like getting after the quarterback too as well. It's going to be a test for our offensive line and Bill Callahan, how he's grooming them this week and teaching them, because him and Matt Eberflus, they were coaches together. So Bill, I trust Bill more than I do Eberflus. So, if Bill coached with him for a while and know his tendencies, and he knows he likes to stop the run, Eberflus, and they want to run the ball, because Callahan said we want to run the ball too. So I'm very curious to see how that game plan goes and see what fronts that they give. And like they said in the press conference this week, if it's a passing front, we're going to check at it and we're going to pass it. We're just not going to run it, with Derrick Henry anymore, who just, hey, we got the best running back on planet Earth. We're just going to try to run and have him, beat a stacked box. I think they're going to be smart about it. They're going to check out of things. If it's a run play and they see it's an up front, they're going to try to check out of it and pass it, and vice versa.
Here's what I think it could not be more paramount on Sunday. And I know it's kind of cliche, but I think in this specific scenario, it is crucial. Whatever side of the ball they start on Sunday, whether that be offense or defense, they need to succeed and accomplish their mission on that side of the ball. If they are on defense first, they need to get them off the field with 0 points on the first drive. If they have the ball first, they need to put 7 points on the board first, because one thing you can definitely control is the amount of hype that's inside of that building. They've been waiting for this opportunity for this player at quarterback for 50 fucking years since Jim McMahon. They've been waiting for him. So they're going to be ready to go. Now, it's not going to kill every bit of air in the building if we score first, but it's going to be really helpful because there's only 60 minutes in this game. And if they shut them down the first possession, which would be my ideal scenario, because I always want the ball first in the second half, forget it. That would be like scoring 2 touchdowns, in my opinion. Getting them off the 3 and out in the first drive. It can't be more important to at least suck as much air out of that freaking stadium immediately as you possibly can, because we want to get on this kid's case early and we want to make him uncomfortable. And it's going to be a lot more uncomfortable if, we take a little bit of air to the building. So that's the goal. But I think we should maybe move into our picks, or no?
No, not yet. I want to bring up one more thing before we get into any of those. There was news this week. The injury report came out Wednesday, and even today, DeAndre Hopkins news came out. Not much was going on with the report. He was limited, and somebody else I forgot. It was Jamal Adams. He didn't practice, and there was somebody else I forgot. But the news with DeAndre Hopkins, he had an MCL tear. What happened in training camp, and they flew him out to California. He said he had a tear maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago at the time. This is from Paul Kaharski from DeAndre Hopkins. He says it takes a whole year sometimes for that to heal. They flew him out to California to get rehab with some of the best people, but he says right now, hopefully I can get there and play and perform on Sunday. He looked good in practice, but there was a video from Jim Wyatt where he was doing a 5-yard out, and it kind of looked like he was dragging his left leg. So is there any concern for you guys? Because now I'm seeing that a couple hours ago, seeing that that possibly this can be a lingering issue for DeAndre Hopkins for the rest of the season. I hope not, because like I said, we've surrounded Will Levis with talent, and this is win now mode. And this one of the stars can't go wrong. Nothing can happen to one of our stars. This early into the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm definitely concerned about it, to be honest. It's also concerning that they kind of withheld this for so long. You know what I mean? That shows that they were concerned about it.
They're not entitled to do an injury report throughout training camp until the first week of the season.
I understand, but I think they knew it was more serious than they were leading on, and they didn't want to cause panic within the organization or the fan base. I'll say this pretty bluntly. Will Levis's development is not entirely contingent on the health of DeAndre Hopkins, but DeAndre Hopkins being there for him would be huge for Will Levis's development. Him being on that field for a full season. The MCL is one of the 4 major ligaments in the knee. It helps you stop and start and twist and turn. And his game is predicated on good route running, and he needs 2 healthy knees to do that. And him having, one knee that is not entirely healthy, it scares me. It does. He's a little long in the tooth. I didn't see that video, Jarett. You're gonna have to send it to me after the show. But yeah, I'm definitely a little concerned, especially because after him, we have Calvin Ridley, of course. We have Tyler Boyd, but who's our third receiver if he goes down? Is Burks going to step up? We can't depend on him. Is it going to be your boy NWI? Is it going to be your boy NWI? Is it going to?
I'll tell you who it's going to be right now. I'll tell you right now who it's going to be. It's going to be Jaquan Jackson. That's who it's going to be.
I would love to see that because he has game-breaking speed, and I'd love to see him.
And he's not a small kid either. Really isn't.
I'd love to see him get involved early and often. But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm to the point with him too. I would not play him until I don't know. I would give him a little bit more time, to be honest. I think
I saw him on Instagram yesterday, and he was doing like sprints. So
it's weird, listen, man.
It is what it is. DeAndre Hopkins is a absolute professional, so I don't think he's going to push himself to hurt the team, and I also think he's not going to just sit out just to sit out. So I think whatever the best thing is for us is what he's going to do. So if he thinks sitting out a game or however long he needs to be better is going to be the right play. He's going to do that. If he thinks he can play, he's going to play. So I got to be honest with you. I really do think that Burks and Jackson, especially Burks, it's always been the injury. Like when if he's not hurt, I don't understand why people forget about the things he's done, like that game against Green Bay, that game against Philadelphia before he got his head taken off. This kid is a first-round pick for a reason. I mean, obviously the stat sheet would show you he's been a bust so far, but when he is not injured, if he's able to run properly, I mean, he's got everything. You got everything you want in a receiver in Treylon Burks. He's got the size, he's got the speed. It's just been he can't stay on the turf. So as of now, he's healthy. So honestly, until I have a reason to believe he's not healthy, I'm not going to freak out with D-Hop potentially being out for an extended period of time. If that becomes like half the year and his injury is really bad, then that's really going to suck because then you're taking away Levis's best surrounding talent, and that's just not going to help our case. But you got to take it a day at a time. That's just the way it is. And from what I've seen, D-Hop certainly doesn't look like he's in any type of 6-7 week type injury right now, unless it was to get worse, knock on wood. But I think we'll be okay for the time being. Worst case scenario, I think we'll see him live. So
I hope so, because we need him healthy, not only for the development of Will Levis, but for the success of this team. And
absolutely.
Plain and simple.
I think now would be a good time. If I recall correctly, we do have a clip of some folks that are obviously friends of the show because they're part of our family at Sick Podcast. And you might recognize one specific face in particular. He's a fan of the team that we're about to play. And let's run that clip, Sammy, of Mr. Rank and his partner talking about this matchup on Sunday.
Score prediction, and we'll roll out of here.
All right, so I think I have the Bears winning 27-17. I'll give 17 points to the Titans, even though I think it could even be a little less. Let me go back. 27-13 Bears. Caleb Williams throws for 3 touchdowns, couple field goals thrown in there. It's a fun day on the lakefront. The Bears defense dominating, putting Caleb Williams in some formidable positions, field positions. Torrey Taylor setting up the field position game. We haven't even talked about Torrey Taylor.
Oh, God. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
If the team starts off slow and we get some 3 and outs, like that could be Torrey Taylor time to kind of keep us in the game.
Yeah. So I got the Bears winning 27-13. And I'm excited for all of us to experience it and then celebrate it when it's all said and done.
All right. For the record, our producer, Sammy, has got 24-21 Titans. We'll give him his flowers. If that one works out, I'm going to take the Bears 23-10.
I'm sorry. Let me just say this right now. If you got to bring up a fucking Australian punter as to why you think your team could potentially have success, who I had to look up because I'd never heard of Torrey Taylor in my fucking life. Come on, guys. First of all, I didn't know the Bears had the 85 defense they imported back from 30, 40 years ago. I didn't know they did that. But he couldn't even say it without smirking. He was smirking.
They do have Kevin Byard, though, the greatest safety in the history of Titans football.
What's that?
They do have Kevin Byard, the greatest safety.
He looked great. He looked great in Philadelphia. Now let's see what he does in.
I'm sorry. Are you joking? He can't show his face in Philly. They had like 2 good games, and then and they couldn't wait to get him the fuck out of there. Oh, I can't.
He's from Philly. He's allowed to show up.
Adam Rank definitely owes us a show. We were supposed to have him on tonight.
Adam Rank is a notorious Titans hater too. For all of our listeners, you could see him on NFL Network the last 2 years, just giving us abysmal records. I think the year we went to the title game, he picked us to win like 2 or 3 games. So he's a notorious hater. But when you're a Bears fan, you're a little mad at the world, and so we understand where he's coming from, and we'll see how it plays out on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, if it doesn't come to fruition, he's not going to want to hear from us. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. And I can't wait for Levis to just dice up the middle of the field.
10 points, just slap in the face.
Yeah, I know. 10 points. I mean,
and 13.
Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. We have a new offense. They have a new offense. We can't. Either one is. It's not gonna be like that.
Like if you genuinely think that, I mean, we honestly could have still had Tannehill right now. Honestly, with Pollard and Spears and Ridley and maybe Hopkins and Boyd, if you really think this team is only going to put up 10 points, then I guess the Bears are a Super Bowl contender. They are right now, immediately, first game. But again, like I said, even though they are part of our big family there, he couldn't even say it with a straight face. He was smirking from ear to ear the entire time he said that. Him and the fucking Australian punter. I hope we do see the Australian punter. I'm going to be real thrilled to see Torrey Palmer or Torrey Taylor if we see him on Sunday. That's going to be great news for all of us. So
speaking of punters, a healthy Ryan Stonehouse will be back for the Tennessee.
Yes, knock on wood.
We got our punter back too.
We got our punter back too. You want to compare punter, buddy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think our punter's carrying a bigger piece than Torrey Taylor. That's just my guess. But that'll. Well, I'm talking about his shoe. What do you mean? What do you mean, man?
Yeah.
Where's your head at, brother?
I don't know, Vito. You tell me.
I'm talking about his foot, brother.
Yeah, talking about his foot.
Oh my God, Vinny's head's in the clouds.
Sal, it's a fucking joke.
I know it was, and that's I was talking. And by the way, I was talking about what you thought I was talking about. I just switched it around real quick.
Yeah, I know.
Like a total fucking. Anyway,
any losers.
Let's move on, and I can't wait because we got an insane graphic to show. We're gonna move on to our picks. Are we ready to show our picks, guys?
I think so.
Let's do it, Sammy. Let's start that up.
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Oh, yeah. Once again, we want to give a special shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings. NFL Week 1 is here, and a new season means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a player to score a touchdown. I'm still going, am I? That's not it. It's not the end of it. We're going to be editing this out, Sammy. Don't worry. Ready? And we're going to start now. No, that isn't it. And after that, everything's in parentheses. And it says, ready to do a touchdown dance of your own. If that's what I'm supposed to say, then all right, let's start here. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? I'm doing the whole thing?
Jesus Christ.
Vinny rocked it.
I thought we each had a fucking section to do here.
Guys, we're going to shout out our sponsors, DraftKings. NFL Week 1 is here, and a new season means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code SICKTITANS. That's code SICKTITANS for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccp.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. That is void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and up north with our Canadians in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
All right. Thank you for
that
very
lengthy DraftKings thing, but it's Sick Sports, not Sick Titans.
It's Sick Sports.
Sick Sports. I ran through that. My apologies. We are working on it, guys. We are. We never.
That's a long read.
I appreciate that that condescending read you just did for the whole fucking read, looking at me like I got some total jackass. I appreciate it. Very good.
No, not a total jackass, just half a jackass.
Just half a jackass. Well, like I said,
yeah,
I thought we were each doing our own read of it, and I was wrong. I would have totally done that whole thing in my best captain's chair voice, which I was doing, but that was much better, much better, Vin. We'll make sure you do. We'll make sure you do all the fucking DraftKings reads from now on.
We'll work
that
on
way.
We're gonna have AC and Sammy and Juliana holding up cards for us at the DraftKings Sports Bar. So we're gonna have one of them hold up a card for each of us where we won't mess it up.
It used to be like the old school college football stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Signs.
I like that. But with that being said, shout out our sponsors. Let's dive right into our picks, though.
Yes, let's do it. Would you like me to do the honors? I'll gladly will.
Go ahead.
Let's start it off, Sammy. Throw out my picks of the week here so we can just start making people some fucking money right now. Okay, you want to make some cash? Do yourself a favor. Take out the kids' college fund. Take out the second mortgage. Just kidding. Don't do that. Bet responsibly at DraftKings always. But Titans money line all day, twice on a Sunday, and Levis over 199.5. That'll get you plus 226. So, I mean, first of all, if we're not throwing for 200 plus, there's a big problem, and we're probably not winning anyway. So why not pair that money line with something that should be a guarantee if we're going to win, which is Mr. Levis throwing for 2 bones plus. So cash in 100 base 326. Thank me later. Let's move on to the next.
All right, I'll hit it. I'm right now. I'm 2-1. Florida State has absolutely killed me and sucked the life out of me for football season so far with college football. So I'm ready for the NFL. I got the Lions -3 against the Rams. I mean, the Motor City, the Lions. To me, that's the best NFC team. So they're going to kick it off at home. I think they win easy against the Rams. Titans. They're scoring more than 10 and 17 points. We're getting to our picks a little bit later, but I'm taking the 3.5 points in Chicago. And the Cardinals, I think they have a good team. The Bills have lost a lot. I think the Cardinals go into Buffalo and they cover the 6.5 spread. So $100 gets you $702, and that's a nice little profit right there. Plus 602 right there.
Sign me up.
That wouldn't be bad. I like that Cardinals pick. Let's dive into Lombard locks and the hit parlay.
Lombard locks.
We got the Titans +4. Jarett had it at 3.5. That spread is moving up and down throughout the course of the week.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
because of me.
I like the Titans +4. I like the Seahawks -5.5. I think the Denver Broncos, despite Bo Nix being this darling in the preseason, I think the Broncos are extremely undermanned this year, and they will struggle and be one of the worst teams in the league when it comes down to it. And then for you North Jersey people, I got your New York Giants +1.5 at home against the Minnesota Vikings. I think
you're taking the G-men.
I think both teams are going to struggle this year, but I like a home dog all day, every day. I love to bet a home dog. I think the Giants will win that game outright. I think the Vikings are going to be pretty bad this year as well. But that is my parlay. It is +595. So if you bet $100, you will get $695 back. Obviously, minus your $100, $595 of that would be profit. So Titans +4, Seahawks -5.5, Giants +1.5. Take it to the bank.
You know who's coming home for the Vikings in that game? The guy who played a lot of games in that building.
Tell me.
Nobody's talking about that. Darnold. That's Darnold's fucking home.
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
That ain't no road game for Sam Darnold, my friends. Yeah, that is not a road game for him. He knows that building very well.
First pass as a Viking is going to be similar to his first pass as a New York Jet. If you can remember, it was a pick-6 on Monday Night Football.
Yep, against the Lions.
Yeah,
I'll never forget I was working, but he didn't have Justin Jefferson, so that's a little bit different there. Who was their best receiver during that time? Was it probably?
It was probably Jarett. I think Jarett.
Maybe it was Jarett. Probably was Jarett.
Yeah, he played a little bit of high school ball, so I think I don't know if he had the makings of a varsity athlete, but he
definitely did it. Definitely did it. Varsity football, varsity college, definitely varsity or varsity football maybe. But let's move on, guys. We're gonna do now our
game predictions.
What we're here for. What
Absolutely.
We're here for. Our game predictions. Jarett, you can do the honors, please.
Yeah, all right. So this is going to be the total opposite, obviously, what the Bears are talking about. But I see the Titans coming in hot. and heavy in Chicago. And I have the Titans winning 27-17, starting the season off right, making our way right to Nashville. Happy guys, going 1-0. We're going to start our DraftKings party in week 2 against the Jets. So I don't think we have a problem really. We keep Caleb Williams tame. I think there's going to be a lot of different fronts, like I said, and different coverages. We're going to keep it mixing up for Caleb Williams. So I think we win kind of easy.
I like that. Kind of easy. 27-17 Titans.
10 points. 10 points.
10 points. Smack in the face. Throw my prediction up there, Samuel. I got the Titans winning 24-20. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know what's left of Adam Rank's hair, but I think it's going to fall out by the end of this game because I think it's going to be a nail biter. But I do think the Titans will come up victorious. I think we're going to be down 20-17, and we're going to have a last 2-minute drill, and Will Levis is going to lead us to the promised land, and we are going to win at 24-20.
Well, I'm going the way I usually go. I'm usually overconfident until I have a reason not to be, which is typically at about halftime of week 1. So we'll just jump right into mine. I think the Titans are going to wipe the floor with the Bears. They do have a very, very potent offense as far as their pass catchers. So I'm not going to take them lightly. I'm going to have them scoring some garbage at the end, but I do think Caleb Williams is not going to take his first game in the biggest lights he's ever played under. Well, maybe not, actually. Probably isn't the biggest lights he's ever played under. He's probably played in front of more people at USC. But the point is the stakes are a lot higher now. Now he's a professional athlete. And, he's playing for his paycheck every week. I think he's going to be okay long-term, but I don't think he's going to be the superstar, the second coming of John Elway that some of the people have claimed he's going to be. So I'm going 30.
At least not overnight.
Not overnight. Yeah, absolutely. Not overnight. He could be a Josh Allen type product where it takes him 2 years and then he's a top 5 quarterback for the next decade. Wouldn't surprise me at all. He's got the size to do it. I particularly wouldn't feel confident about my quarterback if he wore nail polish, but at the end of the day, he's wearing it, and you're not allowed to say too much bad about it, or else you're a bunch of other different bad things. So I wish him the best outside of week 1, but 34 by Tennessee, that's one of my bold predictions. I think Levis they're going to let him fucking go berserk. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, and we're going to finally use the pass to set up the run instead of only using the run to set up our 15 to 20 passing attempts a game. And that's going to be what really sets us apart, hopefully, this year from all the pass. So
I like it. We're going undefeated this year, guys. If you ask us.
Well, right now we are undefeated, so we'll see what happens come Sunday.
Oh, yes, we are, my friends. We are very much undefeated. So with that being said, guys, it's showtime. This is it. This is the nitty-gritty. It's game time. We're going to be with you guys throughout the entire season. We're going to be fighting a lot. We're going to be laughing even more. And
we are live Sunday after the game too.
Yes, we are.
Don't forget, lock those gates, baby.
Oh my God! And I'll tell I'm gonna be at my dad's, and it's either gonna be an atmosphere that you've never seen before, or he's probably going to jump on and say a few things too. So
I'd love that. I would.
We'll see. It should happen. It's taken long enough. We should get him on. And since I'm going to be there almost every week, it could be a usual segment where I get his 2 cents, and he just has to keep it PG, or as PG as we do, and we don't really keep it.
He might get the whole all 6 podcasts canceled.
Well, I don't know. I think he'll be all right. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Anything you two want to add before we sign off for the final time before our first
No, I just wanted to reiterate that the code for DraftKings is Sick Sports, not Sick Titans. My apologies. Sick Sports, not Sick Titans.
Yes.
Bet with your head. Don't bet over it.
Absolutely. I already started betting over it. It's only game 1. That's why we got to get off to see if I'm going to be able to cash in. I took Chiefs and I moved the line to 52.5, went under. We're looking okay right now, guys.
49.5.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I have 49.5.
Yeah,
so I am on the under too.
I couldn't do 49. I had to do because I thought the score was going to be 27-24. That's what I got. And we're looking pretty good right now. We got to make sure the Ravens stay out of the end zone here in the second half. But All right, chat. Well, there it goes. Said chat. Haven't done that in a while. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thanks for joining in with us. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. All the support we can get is very much appreciated. Without all your support, we wouldn't be able to do the things we're able to do, like what we're going to be able to do next week. All of you guys have helped out. We're where we are because all of you, and the more the merrier, the better we're going to be able to grow. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe on all platforms, and share the show with your friends. So as always, guys, tighten the hell up. And Sammy, you know the drill. Send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.